from all of your videos, and I believe that those will be sent to you. But there were a few things that I wanted to sort of say to everyone to encourage you on your development and your journey with cello. Um, and by the way, if I ever say something that doesn't make sense, or you have a question, or you can't hear me, or something like that, just raise your hand or send something in the chat box, or let me know. Let me know if I've lost you. So I think all of the cellists that I watched, and I also watched one guitar player. I don't know if he's here today because I believe he is in China. Um, but anyway, I believe you all played with piano. So that is chamber music. You all already are playing chamber music. Chamber music is just when we play with another musician. It could be one person, it could be 10 people. It's a little different than orchestra. Orchestra is very big. It's kind of a different skill. But chamber music, the reason we call it chamber music is because it sort of originated in well, the word chamber means room, just like the room that I'm here in my living room. Um, it just means room. It was music that was composed for a small room. So these kings in Europe, composers like Mozart and Bach and Beethoven would often work for people high up in the church or in the court, like that worked for the king, and they would write music for these small little parties, and that's where we get the term chamber music. But of course, culture from all over the world have been playing music together for forever. Um, but that's really what chamber music is, and so I'm going to talk about a few of the things that the few of the most essential components of successful chamber music playing. Um, and so what I notice with my students is the most essential elements of successful chamber music playing are listening and both learning how to lead and learning how to follow. So chamber music is great for experience because you have to have really good rhythm, and um, when you play chamber music, your rhythm gets better. So your rhythm gets better, your intonation gets better, your phrasing gets better, your sound gets better. All of these things improve. And in order for a group, let's say you're playing in a string quartet or a piano quartet, which is a piano plus violin, viola, and cello. I only listen to the cello players, but I believe there are some pianists here today. Um, when you're playing together, it's very important that everyone is playing the same rhythm, right? At the correct rhythm and playing in tune, and so that's why those things are important. But those are basics, and based on what I heard, I think everyone is doing really a phenomenal job with their intonation, especially. I thought I was very impressed. Um, I know how hard it is to play in tune. It's still a challenge sometimes, so I thought that was really good. So what I think you really learn from chamber music, though, is how to how to lead, how to become a leader. And I think that's really important in our world as young students, as you grow and develop, to learn how to both become a leader and how to follow. In chamber music, you're constantly leading and following at the same time. It's a tremendous skill. And I think it's very important both in chamber music and in our world again. And so um, we also learn how to have our own ideas about the music, and then how to communicate them to our, let's say we're playing in a string quartet, we'll use that as the example. We learn how to have our own ideas, and then we learn how to communicate them to the rest of the players in the string quartet. We also learn how to be flexible and listen to other people's ideas and how they think the music should go. And we learn how to try that out as well. And then we can you can talk about it and say, "Oh, well, I really liked this from your idea, and I thought my idea didn't actually work very well. Oops, okay, let's try your idea." So, um, these are essential skills that I think shape us as humans as well, because it's the better that you can communicate your own ideas and be open to other people's ideas, the more successful you'll be both as a leader, a musician, a friend, and everything. So that's why I think chamber music is so crucial and so important. It can impact your whole life. I've been very lucky enough to play chamber music my whole life. I think it was important to my teacher growing up, so she had me play in a string quartet since I was very young, and it was very important to the San Francisco Conservatory, which is where I now teach, but also that's where I went to school. And it was chamber music was an important part of the education there. Um, Here's the last thing about chamber music that I think is really important. That I wanted to talk about something that I noticed in the playing as well. In chamber music, you learn that your sound and the way that you play has an impact on the people around you. And I think this is amazing. So when you play, the way that you play a note can impact and influence how someone else plays. It's really incredible. Even if you've practiced really, really, really hard at home and you know exactly how you're going to play it, you say, I've played it correctly 1,000 times. I know I can do it. And then you get to the string quartet, and the violinist, let's say, the violinist plays a note in a certain way that makes you feel a different emotion. And you go, wow, I didn't even think to play it that way. And without even thinking about it, you start to play differently because you respond to their sound and you respond to their phrasing or you respond to their vibrato. Um, and so I think that's an amazing part about chamber music is that your sound and the way that you play has can have an impact on the people around you. And so our job in chamber music is to come up with our own ideas about the music. And we can do that by thinking about a story. Like, is this a do I imagine a story? Like if we're being silly, you know, maybe this story is about a bunny rabbit hopping along in the grass, and the bunny rabbit finds a carrot, and bunnies love carrots. Okay, and then oh, so that's exciting. So, you know, the story can be anything, or it could be a ship, a boat in the ocean that's going, and it's a big storm, or and it's cloudy and it's raining and there's thunder. So you can come up with a story, um, and let's see. Yeah. And things like posture, your body language, how you cue, um, and then the character or the story that you feel and you imagine in your head can all come through your music. So yeah. So again, I was very lucky to play chamber music my whole for basically my whole life since I started cello. I played in a string quartet in high school from the time I was about 15. There were a few other musicians at my high school and good musicians, and so we got together and formed a string quartet, and we played together for a few years. We did some competitions, and it was very fun. And then when I came to the San Francisco Conservatory for college, um, I played in all kinds of chamber music groups. I played in a piano trio, so that's piano, violin, and cello. There's also another combination of piano, clarinet, and cello, which I found an old video of mine in this particular piano trio that I'll play for you all later. Um, and then string quartet, of course, was very important in my education. I played a lot of string quartets. I played a lot of piano trios, piano quartets, and quintets, and even some octets. So that's 8 people. Um, and I did want to share sort of a fun story about just how music can bring people together. The San Francisco Conservatory has a partnership with the Shanghai Conservatory, and every year one school sends students to the other school. So they alternate years. So in my last year of the conservatory, um, the Shanghai Conservatory sent over about 15 of their students and faculty to the San Francisco Conservatory. And for 1 week, we we didn't have to go to classes or anything. We played music with these other students, and we rehearsed, and at the end of the week we gave a big concert. And so I played in an octet. My quartet at the conservatory plus the Shanghai quartet, we joined together and formed an octet. And we played this slightly bizarre piece by Shostakovich called the Shostakovich Octet. It's just 2 movements, um, and it's quite an interesting piece. But the people from Shanghai didn't speak English at all, so it was a really unique challenge for us because we had to learn how to communicate our own ideas about the piece and to learn about their ideas about the piece. This was a perfect example of what music can do, because we never had a problem with communication. Anytime we wanted to say something about the music, we had to play it. We had to speak with our music and say, this is how I think it should go, or I really like how you play that. Can you show me how you do that? So it was a beautiful collaboration and partnership together. And I think it really highlights the uniqueness of music and chamber music as well. So let's see, what's next? I formed a few very important, um, for me, very important groups, chamber music groups in the conservatory, regular string quartet, a cello quartet, which I'm going to play a video for you all soon. Um, and yes, and then, yeah. So I really encourage you all to seek out opportunities to play chamber music. It can be for fun. It can be with your friends on a weekend. You can sight read music. Even pianists, I think, if there's any pianists here, um, make some friends with some string players and get together to read some piano trios and piano quartets. Now, oftentimes the piano part is very hard, but based on what I've heard already, I have total confidence that you pianists could play any of these pieces, and start to learn some of the chamber music repertoire, and think about these elements of, how do you listen? How can you listen? How can you lead? How can you follow? How can you communicate your ideas, and how can you be open to other people's ideas? And think about how you have an impact with people around you. A great example is if someone is sad, they go like this. Their posture is like this. Where if someone's happy, they might smile. They don't have to say anything, but you know how they feel. So in chamber music, it's the same way. We have to communicate through our music and through our body. So if you go to summer festivals, or if you have friends in school or an orchestra, get together and play chamber music. Um, I thought we could segue a little bit. Feng Feng asked me to talk a little bit about my path and my career. You've heard me speak about the conservatory. Um, when I was a freshman, I was a finalist in the concerto competition, which was very surprising to me because I did not expect that at all. I was I wanted to play the cello the best I could, and so I practiced really hard, and I entered the competition at the conservatory. Every year, there's a competition among all the students, and you play a concerto. And if you win, you get to play the concerto with the orchestra, which was a very exciting honor. So I made it to the finals my freshman year, which was very surprising, quite scary, um, and very exciting and very encouraging, because it made me realize, oh, okay, I think, maybe I can do this. Maybe there is hope for me to to keep going. So I didn't win that year. I got, I guess, fourth place or something like that. But it was a great experience. I ended up winning the concerto competition 2 years later, so that was very exciting, and I was much more prepared to play with orchestra then. And with my various quartets, we did a lot of competitions, and we were awarded some great awards from the conservatory for most outstanding performance, twice actually, which was very exciting. And then I formed a quartet with three other cello players, which is not very common, and there is basically no music written for four cellos. So we had to create all of our own music. And what we did was we played classical music and pop music, music you would hear on the radio that you would know. I don't know, maybe some people might think of who is really famous right now, Ariana Grande or something like this, Lady Gaga. I don't know, these people. Billie Eilish. I'm sure some of you kids know Billie Eilish. So we would play music like this. We would arrange it for four cellos and play that, and it's very fun. I'm going to show you a video later of that. We were very lucky to win a grant, to win an award that allowed us to travel to a few other countries for a month, and we got to teach and perform in these countries. So we went to Hungary, Budapest in Hungary, and we went to Russia and a couple other smaller countries. And so that was a very exciting time. So I think with what can be so incredible about music is that you can meet so many people. You will make friends all over the world. Anytime you go to a music festival, these musicians come from all over the world to meet. Even here today, I'm here in San Francisco. I think a lot of you are up in Vancouver, and maybe even other places as well. You meet people from all over the world. And yeah, now I forgot what I was going to say about that. um, music can take you to these places as well. So you can meet people from all over the world, and music can take you to all kinds of places in the world and open you up to new exciting opportunities that you may not have had otherwise. 2 years ago, Fang Fang and I went to China. She took me to China, and I think we played about 10 concerts all over China, and did a lot of master classes and lessons, and ate a lot of really good food, and it was really fun. And were I not a musician, I probably would not have had that opportunity. So I think music has a lot of really exciting opportunities for all of you. Um, let's see. So I was truly impressed with all of the videos I watched from the cellists and one guitar player. I don't know if he's here today. So again, if their teacher is here today, again, bravo for teaching at such a high level. Really incredible. I thought everyone did an incredible job. There was a huge amount of attention to detail, which was really phenomenal, especially with such young ages, really. And so many good things. So I just want to say bravo to the teacher and to all of you students for working so hard and practicing so much and going to lessons every week and practicing even when you're tired and really working on this instrument, because I know how difficult it can be sometimes. Um, so bravo to all of you. I think I come from a slightly challenging place today because you all have worked so hard. And I have a very easy job. All I have to do is watch your videos and make some comments. So I want to really honor the work that you all have done and the journey that you all have gone through on cello. And anything I say today about your playing or recommendations I might make, and any of the comments that I wrote, I want you to think about them, but also remember that I only saw this one snippet, this one small piece of your playing for maybe 10 minutes each. And I'm making these sort of judgments based on that. And so I'm sure that so just keep that in mind. So I hope what I say today is helpful and encouraging, because I was inspired after watching all of your videos. I thought, oh, I better go practice. These kids are good. So I wanted to talk about a few general things that I noticed. Um, and yeah, Fang Fang, is this a good time to go into talking about some comments, some topics?
Yes, yes, you can talk in some the comment, and you can call the contestant.
Okay.
I taught little bit Chinese. OK，
Okay.
好，如果哪位选手听到自己的名字，你就可以打开你的 camera，然后跟那个老师来说，OK，and first is Yu Hui Yu。于
Oh,
辉玉，于辉玉，
Yu
请
Hui
问
Hugh.
于辉 Hill， 请问你在吗？于辉 Hill，OK，、等等，OK，你可以打开你的声音，OK，
So, bravo. You chose two of my favorite pieces, Kol Nidre, which I wrote in the comments. I think Kol Nidre, right? You played Kol Nidre and Beethoven C Major Sonata.
Yeah.
Yeah, great pieces. So, really, really wonderful. Let's see. Okay, I'm just reading my notes here for you. Very good. Okay, let me read my notes from the Beethoven as well. Okay, so and I hope everyone will keep paying attention, because a few of you played Kol Nidre and the Beethoven C Major Sonata, and I noticed some common things about it. So first of all, beautiful playing. I think we're so lucky that we get to play the Kol Nidre. Because isn't it like one of the best pieces of music ever written? I think it's beautiful. It's one of my favorites. So, um, I thought your opening was really beautiful. I thought you really got into the character and the sound and the sort of the feeling of the piece really, really nicely. So, do you know anything about what Kol Nidre means or is?
Not
Okay,
really.
it's actually originally comes from a Jewish holiday, and it's part of a Jewish holiday, um, and they in their church, in their tradition, they sing this song, and it's this melody. And this composer, Max Bruch, he was so taken by the melody, he thought it was so beautiful that he decided to write this whole thing for the cello. And so now when we play it, of course, it's not necessarily a Jewish, a religious thing at all. It's just a beautiful piece of music. But I think knowing the story behind the piece a little bit is very helpful because um, this is a good thing for everyone to keep in mind. The story of the piece can inform, can inspire how you play it, and really having a really clear picture of like the character and the story and the emotions that are going on through this piece really can influence how you play it. So the Kol Nidre is about um, it's sort of about at first kind of um, very painful memory. You know, it's very sad in the beginning, D minor. It's very dark and melancholy, and it's about sort of um, letting go of your old self. It's at the start of their new year, so you can think about we all have a new year celebration, right? So you let go of all of the crazy things that happened last year, especially because 2020 was a crazy year. So you let go of all of that, and you're sad because you let that go. And then in the second half of Kol Nidre, and if any of you else know this piece, it goes from D minor into D major, and this is when we're reborn, if you will. This is when we're sort of when the clock strikes midnight and it's a new year, and this is when it turns to D major. So um, I thought that I what I would think about is how you go from the beginning of the piece and how you take us through the whole song into this D major section, which is such one of the most glorious moments of music, I think. Da 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 dee dee dee. And so I'm not a singer, so don't judge my singing. Yes, because I think um, my impression of when you got to the D major section was that it felt too similar to the very opening when it was in D minor, and I think that when it goes to D major, it's so hopeful and joyous and just I don't know if it were a color, it'd be like bright yellow or something, and so I wanted to feel that more. So so your playing was fantastic. I thought it was very clean, very in tune. I heard all the notes. I thought you had gorgeous phrasing. So, but I wanted you to take us on this journey more. I wanted you to take us on this story, and really, really tell us a story through this piece. Um, and so, yeah, so I am speaking with you right now. It's Yui, Yuhui,
Yeah, or you can call me Emma. Yeah.
or Emma. Okay. Um, but I think this goes for everyone as well because so I'm sort of speaking with you right now, but these are some comments that I want everyone to sort of think about. Um, get inspired about a story, and these are just a few words you can think about: a story, and this can literally mean like I was talking about earlier, the bunny rabbit in the grass, right? Or uh, or something more kind of um, more abstract, like letting go of your old self and welcoming in a new version of yourself, or imagining that you're an actor, um, and really, how would you act on stage, and what is your character like? Are they dark and brooding? Are they bubbly? And really letting that come through the music. Um, so anyway, very good. It was really nice to hear the contrast of the Kol Nidre and the Beethoven. I thought it was really, really, really nice. Kind of more romantic style, and then a more classical, kind of true classical style. Um, so yes, I thought your intonation was especially really good in the Beethoven, and I really liked the opening. I think it's a very hard opening, all alone without the piano. And then you hope you're in tune when the piano comes in. And you were, so it was very good. So yes, so very nice. A few people played the Beethoven, so I'll say this. I'll say this now. Beethoven was quite a dramatic person. Actually, I have him right here. There he is. It's not actually him, but it's but that's him. Look how dramatic he is. So he was a very dramatic person, and he loved surprises. He loved really surprising dynamics. And so you'll notice you'll be playing forte, you'll be playing loud and forte, and suddenly he'll want you to play really, really quiet. And again, this goes for everyone who played Beethoven. I think we have to do more with that. We have to exaggerate these differences of the music and exaggerate these contrasts and these surprises. You almost want to feel surprised yourself when you play this music, when it goes from really, really piano to suddenly, and the musical word for that is subito, when it goes subito forte. We need to feel surprised from that. So I wanted more of that from everyone's Beethoven. I thought you could all really push the limits of the contrasts in your music. So bigger contrasts of dynamics and bigger contrasts of character. So what is character? Well, character could be the emotion that you might feel or the emotion that you think about in the music. Character could be like a rhythmic character. It could be short. Bum 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 bum. For those of you who know the sonata, that's part of the sonata. That's kind of a rhythmic, exciting part. And then, but then after that, you have ba da dee 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 dee. It's very lyrical, very flowing. So I would start to think that those are almost imagine those are two people. If you were to go see a play, I want you to imagine that those are two different people and they're having a conversation. And we want to really know who's talking. And so for all of you, keep searching in your own playing for greater contrasts and for more characters, and really push yourself to get into those characters. Anyway, we can talk more about that. But anyway, bravo, Hui, Emma. It was yours was the first video I watched, and so it was very impressive and started off on a very, very good note. So bravo again.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah.
Okay.
I probably won't talk as much for each person, but
Okay. Next is Qi Sen Fang.
Yeah, I'm here.
Qi Sheng.
Qi Shen. Qi Shen, right? Qi Shen, right? Yeah.
Great. Good. Let's see. You played the Chrysler piece and the melody from Tchaikovsky. Good. Very nice. I really liked your phrasing, and I thought you had really nice bow strokes. That was very good. And that was my note from the Chrysler. Let's see. I'm reading my notes here. Yeah, great job, great job. So I love these pieces too. I've never played the Chrysler piece, but I know the Tchaikovsky piece well, and they're beautiful, great pieces. Again, yeah, bravo. And I probably won't talk as much as I just talked to Emma. I sort of got carried away there, and I know we have a lot of people to get through. So don't worry if I don't tell you as many things. I did write comments in that Fang will send you, but again, so very, very good. You've done tremendous work. You were very well prepared, and beautiful sound, beautiful intonation, and everything. So what I would sort of, again, recommend is I think when we perform, we have to exaggerate things. If you imagine an actor on a stage, let's say you go to see a play, and if the actor is talking, they have to really overpronounce all their words. They have to do really big gestures, really dramatic things. We sort of have to do that in music too. So anytime there's a contrast or a change in the music, I want you to make a bigger deal about it and really show us, really tell us the story. Hey, this is happening in the music. Oh, now it's this way. Now it's changed. So that we're really going on a journey with you through the piece. You have the technique. You sound great. So,
Oh, thank you.
so really think about the story that's behind the music. I think it's very important. It can sound sort of like oh yeah, think about the story, but like, oh, that's a nice thing to say. But I actually think it's very important. And I'm saying this today because all of you were so well prepared, so well prepared. Intonation, especially across the board, I thought was very good. Um, and so I'm saying these because these are the things that we don't always practice at home because they feel like, maybe they don't really matter. Um, and it's like you want to play in tune. You have to play in tune. You have to play with good rhythm. You have to have good sound. All of these things, and that's all true. But we also have to have some. We have to have a musicality dimension to it, and you have musicality. You had beautiful phrasing and all this stuff, but I think I wanted more of it. So so we have to push ourselves to do that. Yeah. So so when you practice, think about the story and think about the character of the music. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So bravo, keep it up.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Round of
Okay.
applause for him. Bravo.
Okay, next is Tracy Ye. Tracy Ye.
Good, Tracy.
Hi.
Hi. Bravo. Bravo. I really enjoyed your chanson. It was fantastic playing. That's a hard piece. So bravo again. Whoops. Let's see. I'm just reading my notes here. I thought you had great energy at the beginning of this piece. I thought you really got into the feeling of this piece. I mean, it's very exciting. The piano only gives you one chord to start off with. Some other pieces the piano plays for a little bit longer before you have to come in. But I thought you got right into it. That was very, very good. All of your runs were super clear. I heard all your notes. You had great intonation. And I let's see. I really liked your phrasing as well. Your intensity. That's the word I'm looking for. Let's see. What else? Oh, I thought you played really, really well together with the piano. I think you played with piano. Is that right?
Yeah, I played with the piano.
You did play with the piano. That's right. I think they weren't in the video, but yes. So I thought you played really well with them. I think you were very well together, and so that's good. It means you're listening. So that goes back to the chamber music. I thought you were really listening to the piano. So that was very good. Yes, good. So my one, I think I have one or two comments. When you have, and this again, this is for everybody, right? So these are things that I think we can all really think about. Uh, when you have, here's what I want you to think about. Think about where your notes are going. And I want you can even like write it in, oh, these notes, they're going here, like these three measures, they're building up, and they're going to measure 12 or something like that. Okay. And because you played beautifully and really with great clarity and intonation. But I wanted to feel, sometimes I didn't sense a really clear direction of the notes. And so really, so what we can all think about and what we really have to think about is, okay, where are these notes going? What's their purpose? Why did he write them or she write them? But in this case, why did Camille Saint-Saëns write these notes? We have to think about that because, how long it takes to practice and work on a piece. It takes just as long to write a piece too. So he was very thoughtful about all the notes that he wrote. So we want to think about, okay, why these notes? What's going on in the music? What's the story? That's why I keep coming back to the story. Make up a story in your head and think, okay, I'm running up the hill and then I get to the top of the hill, and then I shout out, "Hey, I made it to the top of the hill." I don't know, something like that. But so you have to get creative, use your imagination for that. Um, but good, and I think it makes it even more exciting for the audience when you do that, because I really enjoyed your performance. It's very in tune, beautiful playing, great phrasing and everything. So, but I wanted a little more sense of, okay, where are these notes going? What's going on in the piece? Take us on the journey. So yeah, it was very good. And let me just see, you played the meditation by Massenet, right? Yeah,
Yes.
this was gorgeous. I thought you really came through in this piece. I really got a sense of who you are in this piece. I think you shined in this piece a lot.
Thank you.
I thought, there she is. Okay. And so anyway, I thought it was beautiful. I listened to the whole video, and my only note was beautiful playing, great job. I really enjoyed it. So that's a good thing. So anyway, bravo, Tracy.
Next, 岳蒙明。
Hello.
Right? Hi.
Hello. Very good job. So, you played the Beethoven as well. Very nice. Oh, good. I think what we might do is, I'm talking out loud kind of here myself, is I might just give you, I might just sort of tell you what I thought. I think you did great. And then after I've gone through everyone, I might just say a few general comments, because I think there are just a few things. I feel like I keep kind of saying the same thing with each student. So I think I'll kind of go through each person a little bit faster, and at the end I'll just say a few points that we can all think about. Yep, and again, I see this with my own students too. We all have certain things we tend to focus on in our playing and in our practice, and for me in my teaching, um, and so of course those are the things that I tend to notice more, the things that I'm more focused on in my own music, in my own playing. Maybe they're things that I struggled with more, or that I need to practice more, so I notice them. So again, just keep that in mind. You all have gone through, you're all learning, and you're all students, and you're all doing an incredible job. So these are just ideas and suggestions and encouragements. Again, I thought you've also, let's see, Yue Ming, I thought you had a very good connection to this piece, the Beethoven. I wrote Beethoven would be proud. I think you played it very beautifully, and you have a stage presence to you. You seemed very grounded and focused and with the music.
Oh, that's good.
That's good. That's really good. So people remember that, let's see. Yeah, so I thought that was really nice. And let's see, you also played the meditation by Massenet. Gorgeous piece. I thought you had great shifting, great intonation. I really enjoyed your performance of that. Yeah, I think great job. I don't mean to talk. I know it feels like I'm cutting it short, but I'll talk about a few general comments at the end. So anyway, yeah, nice job. I really enjoyed your playing, and keep it up.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. And next, Eva.
Hello.
Ava, great job. Again, I also really enjoyed your videos. And let's see, I'm just gonna, oh, there we go. Yes, you were so prepared, and it really showed. You had incredible intonation. Thought it was very, very good. You were also, I think you're quite musical. So I was very impressed. I thought, and Ava, how old are you?
I'm 11.
You're 11. Yeah, you have a lot of natural musicality. And I think that really comes through. So that's really nice. I really enjoyed that. I really got the sense that you felt these pieces. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
A little bit. I felt like, you were really connected to them. Yeah. Yeah, great job. I think You're doing really, really well. I can't wait till so you haven't learned vibrato yet, no?
Kind of.
Okay. You're just getting into it. Yeah, so I really look forward to when you start to vibrate because you already have a beautiful sound and it's going to really add another level of expression and beauty to your playing. And I think it's a good idea to wait and, get really solid technique before you start to vibrate. Because when people start to learn vibrato, sometimes funny things start to happen with our bow. So it's good. You're in a good place with that. So that's why we often wait quite a few years before we start to do vibrato. But I think, let's see, what else? Salute Amor was really nice. Yeah. Your musical ideas came through. I don't know if you even think about them, but if you ever think, oh, I want to do this here, I want a crescendo here, I want a decrescendo here. But I thought all of your musicality really came through, and it was really enjoyable. So bravo, keep it up.
Thank you.
Thank you. And next, Iris. Iris.
Yes, Iris,
Hello.
there you are. Bravo. So you played vocalese and the casadasus, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Great. Okay, very, very good. My first comment was, wow, such emotional playing. I got that right away. I thought you had a great, again, a really good stage presence, and I thought you really got into the emotion of this piece right away. So I thought that was fantastic. Very good. And the Casadasus was beautiful. It's such a good key for the cello, right? C minor. It starts in a great register down on the G string and the C string. It's good. Yes. So let's see. Yeah. So I really get a sense that you have a lot of musicality as well. Some people call it passion or kind of musicality or like connection to the music. So I encourage you to to really feel that and to really start to have the courage to let it out. I almost wanted you to take more risks while you were playing because I saw it there. I saw this incredible musicality and I wanted you just to let it out and just, let loose with the music. Um, so you can think about that. But you're doing it really well. It was again very prepared, great intonation, great performance. Bravo, Iris.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, next, Randy.
Hi.
Rennie, hi.
Oh, sorry. Wait.
Bravo. There you are. Hi. Um, let's see. Rennie, how old are you?
I'm 10.
Wow. Um, you did so well. I
Thank
forgot that I was listening to a 10-year-old because you play like a much older person.
Thank you.
Play very well, very, very well. I was very impressed. Beautiful playing. You played the Brahms. Yeah, the opening was wonderful. I especially liked the trio. Da dee 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 dee. Or I missed some notes in there. You know what I'm talking about? Da
Yeah.
dee 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 dee. I thought it was beautiful. It was really well together with the piano. Very well done. You're already doing so well. You also played Kol Nidre. Wow. You have really, you already have a lot of control with your playing, with your cello. Your shifting was really nice, very clean. And your bow is doing really well too. You had great focus. Again, you had great stage presence too. So yeah, so keep it up. And you're starting to do a little vibrato as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good, good, good job, good job. Yeah, very nice. So bravo again. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And next is Bowen. Bowen. And
Bowen Ying. Oh, there's Bowen.
yeah.
Hi, Bowen. Nice job.
Hello.
My comment was that I love this piece. This is one of my favorite sonatas, and no one plays it. I don't get to hear it very often. Have you heard the second movement? It's really fast, right? It's really hard, but it's really fun. Anyway, I thought you did a really nice job. Yeah, this is one of my favorite pieces. It's a beautiful piece. Yeah, and let's see. I'm reading my notes here. That's why I'm looking off from the screen. Yeah, and then the foray was beautiful. Yeah, beautiful opening. And then I was so impressed you went up the second octave in the foray when the melody repeats. That was, wow, very good. Yeah, great job. Yeah, good. Well, so yeah, keep it up. And yeah, and good luck, okay? We'll clap for Bowen.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Next, Luis.
Luis, hi Luis, you played Allegro Appassionato.
Yes.
Very good. And how old are you?
8.
Wow, that's incredible. So, very good job. You're doing really well. How big is your cello? Is it a half-size cello?
Quarter size.
Quarter-size cello. Wow, okay. Well, you play it really well. You get really good sound out of that cello. Very impressive. I was especially impressed with your tempo and your rubato. Do you know what rubato is?
Not
I'll tell you. Yeah, it's like the timing, maybe like a little like a ritardando when you slow down a little bit, or a cello rondo, right, when you speed up. Those are ways that we can change the tempo. You slow down, you speed up, maybe you take a little time before you play a note. I thought your tempo and your sense of timing in the piece was really impressive. Yeah, so very good job. And Salute More was yes, Salute More, the Elgar. Again, really nice tempo and timing. It's very musical. I think you're very musical. Yeah. So nice job. Bravo. Keep it up. Claps for Lewis.
Okay, thank you, Luis. And next, Dino.
Dino. Hello.
Hello, Dino.
Hi. Oh, good job. Oh, you're Rennie's brother.
Yeah.
Oh. I see 2 cellos behind you.
Yeah.
Cool.
The one over there is my cello, and the one beside mine is my sister's.
Okay. And Dino, how old are you?
8.
And how old is your sister?
10.
She's 10. Okay. Yeah. Well, you guys have a very musical household.
Thanks.
You're very, very musical family. Very impressive. So, yes, I was very impressed. I thought it sounded beautiful. Your intonation was very good. And in the Tchaikovsky, sorry, I don't have perfect pitch, so I might not be singing the right notes, but da da dee dee da 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 in that piece, yeah, all of your half steps were really expressive. They were really in tune and really beautiful. Yeah, great shifting. I think you did a really good job. Vibrato, you're coming along with vibrato really well. Sounds really nice. Let's see here. So that was that. And you also played the Casada Seuss concerto. Let's see. Yeah, this was a great performance. You really had my attention the whole time. When you start this piece, I want you to get into the character of it. I want you to, that's kind of, what does that mean? Well, I want you to think about the music before you start and really, really imagine what the notes will sound like. Imagine what the piano has. Imagine if there's a story. I talked about the bunny rabbit earlier. This piece maybe isn't about a bunny rabbit, but maybe. But it's a little bit more, it's in a minor key. It's a little bit more, I don't know, different emotion. But I wanted you to I think you got into it eventually, a few bars later, and then you really got into it, and it sounded so good. But practice really getting into it before you start, so that
Okay.
you're already in the piece before you play that first note. Yeah, because because then you really gave a great performance. You had my attention the whole time. So good job. Yeah, keep it up.
Thanks.
Next time we'll have to have you and your sister play a duet, okay?
Okay.
Okay, good job. Happy practicing. Yes, and next I have
Ne-
Xuan Chen.
宣城, Lu Shanchen. Yeah.
Lu Shen Chen.
Lucas.
Oh, Lucas? He goes by Lucas? Okay.
Yeah, Lucas.
Can I call you Lucas? Oh, I
Hello.
see.
Hi.
Hello. Very good job. I was very impressed. I didn't know this piece, this Borowski Adoration. It's a very beautiful piece. I really liked it. Yes, you also have very good stage presence. Lots of emotion while you play. It's very good. Um, let's see. Okay, very good. And you played the Bach. I liked the Bach a lot. Um, it's one of the. I mean, it's one of the most famous pieces written for cello, but it's also one of the best pieces written for cello. Right? Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
And it's fun to play. Um, very good. Let's see. And then you played this other cool piece at the end that was so cool. The Rigadoon, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved this piece. What is this piece about? Do you know? What do you think about the piece?
At first I think it's the hardest one, but because there's so many like so many different kinds to play, and then but there's just yeah, then I found out it's not so hard if you just feel it.
Wow. That's a great insight. It's a very mature insight. Yeah, I really liked it. It seemed to me there were a lot of parts to the piece. There was this really cool pizzicato part, right?
Yeah.
And then playing with the bow. And so I loved the contrast of that. And it almost felt like the pizzicato, the cello was pretending to be a different instrument. Like, I don't know, a drum or maybe a guitar or something. So I thought that was cool. I think you could have more fun with the pizzicato. I think you could really just kind of go wild with the pizzicato because the playing with the bow is very melodic and very lyrical. Beautiful playing. And then the pizzicato I thought could be a little bit more fun. Just kind of imagine you're just out in the forest playing your cello and people are dancing. That's what I imagined when I heard you playing. That's what I saw in my head was sort of you playing your cello out in the among the trees, and I could see all your friends kind of dancing. And so just imagine that while you play. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's just an idea. Again, that's just sort of what I thought of the piece. But I do think whatever you imagine, I think the pizzicatos could be a little bit more exciting, a little bit more rhythmic. Um, they were too good. I wanted them to be a little bit more messy,
Uh,
like as if you were a rock star musician. Okay. So anyway, yeah, nice job. Keep it up, okay?
And
Okay.
Shanchen is very good English because he from China. So wow, so cool. Okay, next.
Cool.
Next, 郝子成.
Hao
You can.
Chen. Okay.
郝子成.
Does Hao
Hi.
Chen speak
Yeah.
English?
Yes.
Okay, good, good.
Okay. Are you in China as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, good, good. Well, Hao Sichen is the guitar player today, so good job playing guitar. But he played a cello piece. You know, this piece was written for cello.
Wow.
But you played it really well. Very, very good. So, when you play it, think about what a cello would sound like. And because we have a bow, the notes can ring a lot. You know, so the first note, I wanted that note to ring more. I wanted that note to keep ringing during the rest of the measure. Because that's what we can do on cello with the bow. We can make that note really kind of sing from the cello. So when you play it, think about how would a cello sound? And when you listen to recordings, listen to both guitar players playing the song, listen to cello players playing it too. And you'll get lots of ideas that way. Yeah, I thought you did a very good job, and you did a really good job. And yeah, I thought the ending was especially beautiful. Yeah, so nice job. Keep it up.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you,
I have a few.
Matthew.
I thought I have a few more comments that I could say. Is that okay to everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, I was so impressed by everyone. I think it's so hard. It's so difficult to just judge one video. But there are a few things I've sort of said them to a lot of people. Couple common things that happened. A lot of times, it would take most people a few measures or a minute or so to kind of get into the piece, to start kind of kind of start to feel comfortable and to really get into to the character and the story of the piece. So what I would and sometimes with some people the tempo would be a little unstable at first, and then once you got to the third or fourth measure, then it got really steady and good. And so I noticed this with a lot of people that just the very beginning sometimes was a little bit unsteady, unstable. So this is normal. This happens all the time. So and this happens to everybody. So we have to practice that at home. So I would encourage everyone, especially as you get close to a concert or a competition, or if you have to record something, practice starting it. So I want you to think about the music, imagine how you feel, hear the music in your head, hear the piano part in your head, and then play the first few measures, just the first 3 or 4 measures, and then stop, and then do that again. And do that many, many times so that you're really comfortable with starting the piece. Sometimes it felt like you started the piece, to a lot of people, that you started the piece before you were ready, and then it took you about a minute or so until I felt, there they go. Okay. So practice really getting your head in, ready to go before you play. So that was one thing. The other thing was that I think, I want you all to take more risks in your music, not in life. Don't wear a helmet when you ride a bicycle and stuff. But in your music, I want you to take more risks. There's a phrase, "Wear your heart on your sleeve," and it's sort of like, your heart is here. When you wear it on your sleeve, you're sort of showing everybody who you are. I wanted more of that from everybody. It came through many times from all of you, but I think. Yes, and this ties into really exaggerating the contrasts, the dynamics, the characters, the emotion, all of this in all of the music. I think I wanted you all to be much more dramatic about your music playing. Especially with in like Beethoven, even, I mean, all of the pieces, Bach, the Fauré, the Massenet, the Rachmaninoff. I think, really take your music, really push yourself to take things to the extreme, and I think that's a good thing to do with music. The last thing was that 2 more things. One about vibrato. A lot of you all have beautiful vibrato, very impressive. Really very impressive. So what I would start to recommend you to think about, and I'm sure your teacher has said all of these things before, but sometimes it just takes time for things to for us to hear them. Be thoughtful about your vibrato. Be more thoughtful about your vibrato. Sometimes, and this happens with everyone, sometimes the vibrato becomes automatic, or an afterthought. Like, like we don't really think about it that much. If we do it, it sounds good. Okay, cool. But what I noticed a lot of times was sometimes people would vibrate one note and then not vibrate the next note, and then vibrate the next note and then not vibrate the next note. So continuous vibrato is great. And so I would encourage all of you to keep, if you are doing vibrato already, keep working on developing a continuous vibrato, and continue to be thoughtful about how you vibrate and when you vibrate, because because it adds so much to the music. It can add so much to the music. So yes, we don't want it to be an accident. We want to decide when we do vibrato. And this is just one last thing, sort of about music, and you're all students and you're learning technique. I'm sure you all practice scales and etudes and arpeggios and all of these exercises. So I want you to all really think about that technique serves the music. So what does that mean? That means that we have to, our goal is to, and our job is to think about how we want the music to sound. I want the music to sound this way. I want this phrase to sound this way. Like, I want to sound like Yo-Yo Ma on that recording. Oh, I want to sound like Fang Fang Pan, when she plays piano or something, or I want to sound like a singer or something like that. So you get an idea of what you want to sound like. And then the challenge is then to figure out, now, how do I do that? How do I make my hands do that? And that's how we grow and learn. And that's why technique and learning all these etudes is so helpful. But I think I heard a great analogy once that our left hand for cello, I know there are pianists here. Our left hand is the paint. Imagine you're a painter, okay? You're painting like who's a famous painter? Van Gogh or Monet or something like this. Your left hand is the paint, but your bow is the paintbrush. So you could paint a tree. It could be purple, which trees aren't purple, but it could be purple. But how you paint will decide if it looks like a tree and how beautiful the tree is, not the color of it. So it's an okay analogy. But anyway, I encourage you all to really think more about your bow and how you can find the expression of the music with your bow. Because that's our paintbrush, or that's if you were a singer, that's your voice. Your voice is in the bow. And you're all doing really, really well. Again, I mean, you're all doing so well with this. So it's very easy for me to come in and say, oh, think about your bow more. Yeah. But I would encourage it because that's where the soul of music is for string players, is in our bow, really. And then, we have to have a great left hand technique, play in tune, good vibrato, shifting, all of this stuff. But so get inspired about the music, think about the character and the story and the emotion. And then when you practice, you can discover how to do that with your hands. So practicing is about problem solving. It's a really good skill about problem solving. It's also creative. And this is where we can use our imagination, is when we think about the story and the character. And then we use our problem solving skills to figure out, okay, how do I do that? How do I make that? How do I sound like Yo-Yo Ma, or whoever your favorite cello player or piano player is, okay? That's where we can use our imagination and then our problem solving mind. So music, yes, music first. I think those were a few things. Yes, really getting into the character. Be an actor on stage. Getting into let the music inform the technique, vibrato. And yeah, so anyway, I was so impressed. I'm so inspired. I need to tell my students to practice more. So anyway, really great job again. Bravo to everybody, and bravo to your teacher. I don't know if it's one teacher or many teachers. Bravo to all your teachers. Really incredible teaching. Yeah. So thank you. Does
Thank
anyone
you,
have
Matthew.
questions or anything? I know I
Yeah,
talked a lot, so
Thank you, Matthew. You're talking very, very good and give a lot of good idea for the GOCA contestant. Thank you, thank you. And now can give the 3 question if which you want to talk to Matthew. 你们可以举手 raise your hand. Can see.
no
If
question is a bad question. You can ask me anything.
No question. Okay.
No questions?
Okay. Oh, no question.
Aw.
Okay. And now we can, if no question, we go to next for, we can take, Qi Shen Fang have a question?
Oh no, I just want to say
Okay.
thank you.
Okay. Oh.
You're welcome.
Okay. Next time we, we can take a picture together. Please open your camera. 请你们打开你们的这个视频的那个视频，我们现在来拍一张大合照。Take a picture together. Yeah, please open your camera.
来，
Please open your camera. Thank you. Open your camera.
老师要开 camera，我都打开啦。
对，全部打开你们的。现在你们可以说话，可以打开你们的 camera， 也可以跟老师说一声谢谢。
Thank you.
Matthew, now take a
Thank you.
Thank you. Now take a picture together.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay! Good job, everybody.
Wow.
How do we do a screenshot?
Yeah.
Man Shift 3.
Thank you. Command Shift 3. Okay. Smile, everyone. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Everyone, you can wave.
So happy. I think all is talk to the Matthew say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good job, everyone. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good job.
See you in the next weekend, and I will send email. Okay, sorry, I need milk. Oh,
Yeah, mute everyone.
okay, and I will send email to you. Send the comment, the judge comment and the score. 我会把这个评语和那个分数会把它发到1周之后会发到你们的email， 所以请你们留意你们的 email， 然后就是留意你们的这个 email， 然后就是下一周我们还会有第4场点评，欢迎你们也是一起进来聆听啊！谢谢大家。谢谢大家。
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Matthew. See you next week.
Good job,
See
everybody.
you next
Good
week.
job.
Bye.
Bye. Good job. Good job.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Good job.
Bye. Thank
Bye
you.
bye bye bye.
Bye. Thank you so much. I'll keep waving to everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Annie, are you a teacher? Oh, I think I'm sorry, you're muted. I wondered if you were the cello teacher.
Yeah, I will find the teacher talking with you.
Oh, okay. Okay, sounds good. Okay.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you, Fang Fang. Bye-bye.
Okay,
I'm gonna log out.
bye.
Okay.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.